Hey everybody, Mark Herman, aka LA Bengal fan, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, repping the Bengals here. Apologize for the long delay. Like I said, I'm busy working, but I do promise I will be doing previews and post wrap-up shows throughout the season. So please, if you don't subscribe already, go to that little logo in the corner and hit subscribe. We're trying to build up this channel. It's only really been active since the beginning of the year, so we're halfway home. I'd like to have 1,000 subscribers before the end of the year. Offensively, let's get through some stuff here. Offensively, we have looked really good this season. I can't even begin to tell you how excited I am about the upcoming year with this offense. Tate has just been a star in preseason. Thomas has shown a lot of promise. You add them to Higgins and AJ Green and Tyler Boyd, and you've just got an incredible offense. I mean, the possibility with Burrow and those receivers is huge. I think Mixon is going to have a McCaffrey-type year. I really do believe that, receiving out of the backfield and running. So if this offensive line is just middle of the road, they don't have to be a top 10 offensive line. But if Turner and Zach can put together an offensive line that's just a middle-of-the-road offensive line, this offense can put up some serious points. The biggest question looking at training camp, because we haven't had any games to actually see, has been the defense. Now, we lost Wren and Waynes early on. The Waynes hurt. I know they're talking about him coming back, but that injury's typically not something you're going to come back and be 100% this year. So we have to count on Waynes being out. Wren obviously was a disappointment. I really thought he was going to have a breakout year, and he added tremendous depth to our line. However, this just illustrates how big the Mike Daniels signing was. That was just incredible. We could not have gone out. That's what's different about this year, is that the Bengal management would never have gone out late in free agency and made the deal like they did for Daniels. Prior years, we've never seen that. So his signing is actually huge. I would have loved to have had him with Wren, but the fact that we got him, at least we covered ourselves. Nobody's running up the middle on us this year with Atkins and Reeder and Daniels. So I'm really, really pleased. That should open things up for Hubbard and Dunlap to just have amazing seasons with sacks. So this could be, that's our strength. Now on the back end, we're dealing with some injuries. I mean, we've lost Wayans. Phillips is hurt right now. He's looked like a starter while they were scrimmaging, but he's hurt, so we're a little thin back there. And then on linebackers, I mean, we're going to have basically Bynes and Pratt with Logan Wilson probably as our starters, and we'll be platooning in Gathers and Bailey. So everything's going to depend on how that linebacking core does and how our secondary does, because it's a little thin back there. Also, we've had Mackenzie Alexander dealing with his father missing, and he left the team, and now he was charged with assault, but I'm hoping that just goes away, because clearly he was questioning somebody who knew where his father was. So I'm hoping that smarter minds prevail and that doesn't turn out to be an issue. But he has obviously some issues going on. So the big question mark is going to be the defense. Can they shut people down? And like I said, our defensive line's strong. No one's going to be running on us. So if this linebacking core can come together, this could be just an amazing season for us. There's a lot of reason for optimism with this coming up with this season. And Burrow's just been as advertised. This is why I kept stressing not to trade the pick, because Joe Burrow is special. What he's shown just in the scrimmages shows that he's special, and this is why Miami was willing to give up 4 first-rounders to move up. There's a reason why. This is a game-changing quarterback for our future, and I'm so glad that he's a Bengal and excited to be a Bengal. So going back to Mixon real quick, we do need to extend him. I've said that in previous episodes. We did not get AJ extended, and with AJ getting hurt, maybe that's not a bad thing. We don't know how bad the injury was. I think they're just doing an abundance of caution, so they haven't been playing him. But if AJ does play a full season, I do still believe that he won't fall the way of the Michael Johnsons and the Zeitler with the franchise tag, but he will get extended. He's expressed interest in staying. Katie Blackburn has expressed interest in keeping him around. Obviously, we didn't get it done, which would have freed up money. If you watched my last video, I talked about if we had gotten that franchise tag and restructured that, taken away, it would have freed up money to sign Mixon. We still need to extend Mixon. And then one other thing I want to talk about before I forget, because it's happened a few weeks ago, and I wish I had gotten a video up earlier, is I wanted to just say a few words about Rickey Dixon and how special he was for our 1980s team. He passed away at the age of 53, too young to be losing anybody. He was enshrined in his lifetime. He did make the College Football Hall of Fame, so unlike Kenny Riley, he was alive to at least get enshrined into the College Football Hall of Fame. But Rickey Dixon was a really special linebacker back there with David Fulcher, or a secondary back there with David Fulcher. I want to tell a little story about the Wonderlic Scores. When Rickey Dixon first came out and was available in the draft, they leaked the Wonderlic Scores back in the 80s as well. And Rickey Dixon scored like an 11 or something. And they said, oh, that's impossible. That's impossible. Give it to him again. No one can score that low. And they gave him the score again, and he got like a 6. And they said, that's even more impossible. He'd have to be brain dead to get a 6. Well, we all know that the Wonderlic it's questionable in terms of putting any weight on that. But that's the story that I remember from Rickey Dixon. And he came in and, he was in our 88 Super Bowl team, and it's just a real tragedy. So rest in peace, Rickey Dixon. And if there's anything else here, I just want to talk about how optimistic I am about the season. I don't think I'm any different than any other Bengals fans. I know I've always been a glass half full guy, but you have to be really excited with what we could have with Burrow coming up this year. So 2 weeks today, the season starts. I'll try to get up a preview video. I have been talking to Sam Schneider from Bengals West. He was my co-representative on the other channel I used to be on. We covered the Bengals there, and we are talking about trying to work out some Zoom or joint shows. So that's in the works. We need to test it out, but we're going to try to do that during the season, maybe on previews or something. Do something where both of us are together doing these videos, whether we get together or we do them on Zoom. So we'll see how that plays out. I want everybody to stay happy and healthy. Please stay safe and healthy. We still are in the middle of a pandemic. And with that, I will say hoot everybody. Love you. Talk to you soon.